June 24th, 2025. Moscow's tarmac is tense, the world watching with bated breath. The air crackles with anticipation, a silent observer to the unfolding drama. Every shadow seems to hold a secret, every gust of wind whispers of change. The stage is set for a pivotal moment, one that could redefine alliances and reshape the geopolitical landscape. A Malian Ilyushin Il-96, a symbol of national pride, begins its descent, gracefully touching down on the Russian soil. The aircraft, a vessel carrying not just people, but also the weight of a nation's hopes and dreams, taxis towards the designated area, its engines humming a tune of anticipation. Colonel Assimi Goïta, the leader of Mali, steps out, his figure silhouetted against the backdrop of the imposing aircraft. He pauses for a moment, taking in the scene, the crisp Moscow air filling his lungs. His presence a statement, a declaration of intent etched in every line of his posture. He carries himself with a quiet confidence, the weight of leadership evident in his steady gaze. He's not here to beg. No, this is not a plea for assistance, not a request for favors. He's here to declare Mali's new direction, to chart a course independent of the old powers, to forge a future on his nation's own terms. This is a bold move, a calculated risk, and a testament to his unwavering belief in his country's potential. The Russian honor guard, standing ramrod straight, snaps to attention and salutes, a gesture of respect and recognition. Their crisp movements and unwavering gaze speak volumes about the significance of this encounter. Cannons thunder, their booming echoes reverberating across the tarmac, a powerful display of military might and a symbolic welcome. The ground trembles slightly with each blast, a visceral reminder of the forces at play, and the red carpet, a symbol of honor and prestige, stretches before him, an invitation to walk a new path. It is a pathway paved with both opportunity and uncertainty, a stage upon which history will be made. This is no ordinary state visit. It transcends the usual formalities and diplomatic niceties. It's a cinematic break from the past, a dramatic departure from the established order, a moment frozen in time that will be analyzed and debated for years to come. Goïta's every step signals a move away from Western dominance, a rejection of the old colonial ties that have bound his nation for too long. Each stride is a step towards self-reliance, a declaration of independence in the face of historical pressures. Russian officials, their faces etched with professional courtesy, greet him, extending a hand in friendship and cooperation. The cameras capturing a handshake that echoes across continents, a symbolic gesture that reverberates through the halls of power. It is a handshake that speaks of shifting alliances, of new partnerships being forged in the crucible of global politics. The Malian flag, a tricolor of green, yellow and red, snaps in the cold wind, a vibrant splash of color against the gray Moscow sky. A vivid symbol of defiance, a proud emblem of a nation determined to chart its own course, regardless of the obstacles. It is a beacon of hope for those who believe in self-determination and the right of nations to choose their own destiny. For decades, African leaders arrived in Western capitals as supplicants, cap in hand, seeking aid and approval. They were often treated as junior partners, their voices drowned out by the chorus of Western interests. Not today. Today, the script is different. This is a meeting of equals, or so the narrative goes, a carefully constructed image of mutual respect and shared interests. Whether this perception reflects reality remains to be seen, but the symbolism is undeniable. Goïta's arrival is a pilgrimage to a new center of power, a recognition that the world is no longer unipolar, that alternative alliances are possible. A pivot away from Europe, a deliberate distancing from the former colonial powers, a bold step into the unknown. The world witnesses a quiet revolution on a wind-swept runway, a subtle but significant shift in the balance of power. The implications of this moment are far-reaching, potentially reshaping the geopolitical landscape for years to come. Mali's break with France was years in the making, a slow burn of resentment and disillusionment, fueled by perceived injustices and unfulfilled promises. A final act in a drama of resentment, a culmination of decades of frustration and a yearning for true independence. Now Mali claims its agency, asserting its right to make its own decisions, to choose its own path, to control its own destiny. Goïta, embodying a nation's aspirations, carrying the hopes and dreams of his people on his shoulders. He is the face of a new Mali, a Mali determined to break free from the shackles of the past. The red carpet is more than a welcome mat. It's a symbol of respect, a gesture of goodwill, and an invitation to a new beginning. It's a bridge to a self-determined future, a pathway towards a more equitable and prosperous tomorrow, a connection between two nations seeking common ground. The cold wind is not a chill, but a gust of change, a harbinger of new possibilities, a force that sweeps away the old and makes way for the new. This moment is broadcast live, beamed across the globe, capturing the attention of world leaders and ordinary citizens alike. A new chapter for Mali and Africa, a story of resilience, determination, and the pursuit of self-determination. The symbolism is unmistakable, a clear message to the world that Mali is forging its own path. Mali is choosing its own partners, aligning itself with those who respect its sovereignty and support its aspirations. The world holds its breath as history is rewritten, as the old order gives way to the new, as Mali steps onto the world stage as a confident and independent nation. The official agenda, laid out in crisp documents and formal meetings, is clear for all to see. It's a carefully constructed framework designed to address the multifaceted needs of a nation seeking stability and growth. First, food, then security, and finally, culture. These three pillars form the foundation of the renewed partnership. Russian wheat and fertilizer deals are central to this strategy, promising sustenance and agricultural revitalization. These deals promise to fill Malian tables, ensuring food security for families across the nation. No strings attached, or so it is claimed. The agreements are presented as purely beneficial, free from hidden agendas or political leverage. Defense agreements follow in lockstep, bolstering the nation's armed forces. Helicopters soaring through the sky, armored vehicles rumbling across the terrain, and comprehensive training programs, all designed to enhance Mali's defense capabilities. The hardware and expertise are all on display, a clear demonstration of the strengthened alliance. Mali signals it will no longer rely on France, its former colonial power, for security, marking a significant shift in geopolitical alignment. The partnership extends beyond the material, reaching into the realm of culture. Scholarships offering opportunities for education, cultural exchanges fostering understanding, and the establishment of a Russian cultural center in Bamako, a hub for promoting Russian language and arts. Russia invests in Mali's future, backing infrastructure projects and development initiatives, aiming to win hearts and minds through tangible improvements and visible support. Grain means stability, a foundation for a secure future. Guns mean sovereignty, the ability to protect national interests, and culture means respect, recognition of Mali's unique identity and heritage. Together, these elements craft a narrative of partnership, a story of mutual benefit and shared goals. Not patronage, but a genuine alliance built on equality. Russia offers what the West, in Mali's view, would not: support without lectures, assistance without preconditions. This is the story Mali wants the world to see, a carefully constructed image of a nation forging its own path. And for many international observers, it's a compelling one, a narrative that challenges the established order and offers a different vision for the future. Behind closed Kremlin doors, a bolder deal is discussed: nuclear energy. Leaks suggest Russia will build small modular reactors across Mali. These reactors promise decentralized, reliable power transformative for Mali. Rosatom's proposal includes financing construction and training Malian technicians. For Russia, it's a strategic foothold for Mali, a leap toward energy independence. The secrecy is vital. Publicity would spark Western outrage and sanctions. If realized, Mali could shatter stereotypes and redefine African development. The stakes are enormous, the gamble historic. The world is only beginning to grasp the implications. Mali's power grid is failing. Blackouts are daily life. Hospitals, businesses, and schools suffer hope dims with every outage. Reliable electricity is not just economic, it's existential. Nuclear power offers a way out, a chance to break the cycle of poverty and unrest. The risks of nuclear energy pale next to the certainty of darkness. For Mali, partnership with Russia is a logical step toward dignity and sovereignty. The hum of a reactor is the sound of hope. Mali's split with France was a long, bitter divorce. French troops, once welcomed, became symbols of neo-colonialism and failure. Goïta's government expelled them, reclaiming national honor. Russia stepped in, offering arms and advisors without colonial baggage. This pivot is more than swapping partners. It's a statement of independence. Mali now chooses allies on its own terms, not Paris's. The tricolor is Russian now, and the past is gone. Mali's Moscow move shocks the world. France fumes, calling it betrayal. The West threatens sanctions and aid cuts. BRICS plus nations, especially Russia, cheer the partnership as a new model. The global South sees sovereignty, not subservience. The US hesitates, unsure how to respond. The old playbook, demands and compliance, no longer works. Mali's boldness forces the world to pay attention. Mali's pivot is part of a grand plan for sovereignty. First, energy independence, anchored by Russian nuclear reactors. Second, monetary autonomy, leaving the CFA franc, creating a new Sahel currency with Russian backing. Third, military self-reliance, with Russian training and technology. These pillars, power, currency, arms, form a blueprint for true independence. Russia is the indispensable partner, willing to take the risks. The path is perilous, but the reward is sovereignty. Mali is writing its own declaration of independence. Mali's gamble inspires the Sahel and beyond. Burkina Faso and Niger watch closely, forming a new alliance. If Mali succeeds, others may follow. Russia's model is spreading. Across Africa, leaders see an alternative to Western aid, partnership without conditions. Russia's anti-colonial narrative resonates, offering hard and soft power. The continent is dividing. Some look to Moscow, others to the West. African nations are now active agents, not passive recipients. The great power game is being played on African terms. The Moscow summit is just the beginning, a pivotal moment that signifies a shift in geopolitical alliances. It's a declaration of intent, a promise of deeper collaboration between Russia and the nations of the Sahel. This meeting lays the groundwork for a multifaceted partnership that extends far beyond simple diplomacy. Russian engineers arrive in Mali, a tangible demonstration of Moscow's commitment to supporting the region's development. These aren't just advisors. They are hands-on experts, ready to implement ambitious projects. They are launching nuclear feasibility studies, exploring the potential for nuclear energy to power the Sahel and drive industrial growth. This is a bold step towards energy independence and technological advancement. Military and economic ties deepen. Agreements are signed, partnerships are forged, and the foundation for a strong, mutually beneficial relationship is solidified. This is more than just aid, it's a strategic alliance. Joint exercises, strengthening the military capabilities of the Sahel states and fostering interoperability with Russian forces. This collaboration enhances regional security and stability. New currency plans are being discussed, aiming to create a financial system that is independent and resilient to external pressures. This is about economic sovereignty and control over their own financial destiny. The alliance of Sahel states builds its own security, investing in its own defense capabilities and working together to combat terrorism and instability. And financial systems, creating a modern and efficient banking sector that supports economic growth and development. This is nation-building, brick by brick, policy by policy. The Sahel states are constructing a brighter future for their citizens. With Russia as a committed ally, providing the resources, expertise, and political support needed to achieve their goals. The goal: a self-sufficient bloc capable of producing its own goods, feeding its own people, and controlling its own destiny. Trading with non-Western powers, diversifying their economic partnerships, and reducing their dependence on traditional actors. The narrative of helpless Africa is over. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are writing their own future, charting a new course for themselves and for the entire continent. The risks are real, the challenges are immense, and the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty. But so is the agency, the determination, and the unwavering belief in their own ability to shape their destiny. Africa's lions are on the move, asserting their independence, demanding their rightful place on the world stage. And the world is watching as the Sahel states redefine their future and challenge the old order. This is Insight Africa, where the continent's next chapter is written by its own hand.